Okay, welcome everybody to today's second public review webinar for NYMTC's 2023 Draft Transportation Conformity Determination. My name is Mark Maglianzi. I'm an Associate Transportation Analyst in NYMTC's Technical Group. With me is Fola Ayadan, who is also in our technical group and who oversees this process. NYMTC, or New York Metropolitan Transportation Council, is the designated Metropolitan Planning Organization, or MPO, for New York City, Long Island, and the Lower Hudson Valley. NYMTC is responsible in part for establishing a transportation vision and goals for the region and to implement transportation plans, projects, and programs. You can learn more about NYMTC on our website at www.nymtc.org. And NYMTC also completes transportation conformity determinations, such as the one being presented today. Transportation conformity is concerned with improving air quality. Specifically, this process is required to show that NYMTC's plans, projects, and programs will not exceed the state's emission budgets, which are designed to reduce pollutants and improve air quality. The purpose of today's public review webinar is to provide an overview of transportation conformity, its requirements, and how it is conducted. We'll discuss the results of the regional emissions analysis, which involves estimating the pollutant emissions from the existing and proposed transportation projects, plans, and programs, and comparing them to maximum emission budgets, which are set by the state. At the end of the presentation, we will collect comments and questions to be incorporated into the final documentation. I'll now ask Fola Ayadan to continue with this presentation.
Thank you, Mark. Next, transportation conformity. This is a requirement of the Clean Air Act of 1990, which set the national air quality standard. It is required for eligibility for federal transportation funding in non-attainment areas, that is, area not meeting the Clean Air Act standard. Conformity also connects air quality planning with transportation planning. Conformity focuses on mobile source emissions from cars, trucks, motorcycle, and transit, excluding non-mobile emissions. Next slide, please. What steps are needed in transportation conformity determination? 3 steps. The first one is to forecast mobile source emission for a transportation improvement program TIP and for regional transportation plan, which is RTP. Number 2, compare mobile source emissions forecast to emission budget set in the SIP, which is State Implementation Plan for Air Quality. And finally, establish that emission budget will not be exceeded in order to conform and in order to pass. Next slide, please. 2023 Transportation Conformity Determination. This current regional emission analysis is undertaken due to proposed amendment to the 2020 to 2027 TIP. All amendments are to be included in the current TIP in order for them to be eligible for any federal funding. Forecast the transportation demand and mobile source emission in the context of the project program in the TIP and RTP. There must be projects either significant or non-significant projects that are qualified for federal funding must be included in the conformity determination. Also, conformity determination shows that forecasted emissions are below budget set by the SIP. in order to conform with the SIP requirements. Next slide, please. State Implementation Plan for Air Quality SIP addresses air quality non-attainment areas based on the National Ambient Air Quality Standard, NAAQS. Number 2, forecast attainment of pollutants by target years. Number 3, addresses pollutant sources and types and establishes emission budgets based and included in RTP and in TIP. And the pollutants to be addressed are ozone and fine particulate matters, PM2.5. Next slide, please. Interagency Consultation Group, ICG. The ICG is comprised of the United States Environmental Protection Agency, Federal Highway Administration, Federal Transit Administration, New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, and New York State Department of Transportation. On May 2nd, 2023, the ICG concurred that NYMTC has undertaken this transportation conformity using 1, the latest available planning assumption, 2, an acceptable transportation demand modeling approach, 3, and appropriate mobile source emission post-processor, PPS, 4, the appropriate consideration of non-exempt and regional significant incorporated in this analysis, and also that the required mobile source emission tests were adequately adopted in this analysis. Next slide, please. The regional emission analysis based on the NYMTC region is shown on this slide. The 8-hour ozone, VOC and NOx, these are daily pollutants, and the budget is given in tons per day. The VOC is a volatile organic compounds, which is ozone precursor, and the NOx is nitrogen oxides, ozone and PM2.5 precursor. For the NYMTC counties, except Putnam, we are in severe non-attainment. And for the particulate matter and annual NOx and PM2.5, all NYMTC counties except Putnam plus Orange County, we are under maintenance plan. And for the carbon monoxide, CO, maintenance period ended, so conformity requirements is no longer applicable to NYMTC region. From the graph you see on the slide, we have the severe non-attainment region shown in purple color. The NYMTC region is identified by the boundaries, and for the maintenance PM2.5, we have orange as well as the we have the orange and the blank index are also part of NYMTC region, but they are in stable condition based on the pollutants that we just analyzed. Next slide, please. The result of the regional emission analysis. For the 8-hour ozone, total NOx emission given to us in tons per day for all the NYMTC counties except Putnam. From the graph we see the upper graph is the budget, which is the ozone zip budget for NOx, and the lower graph is the total emission for the forecast years. And these are 2025, 2026, 2035, 2045, and 2050. These are the analysis years, and we pass the pollutant for these analysis years. Next slide, please. For the 8-hour ozone, total VOC emission, that is for tons per day, for all NYMTC counties except Putnam, the total emission is indicated below the budget, which is the ozone zip budget. So for this pollutant, we pass as well. The VOC is precursor to ozone and indicated is in tons per day. Next slide, please. For fine particulate matter, PM2.5, annual NOx in tons per year for all NYMTC counties except Putnam plus Orange County, the total budget for PM2.5 SIP is indicated above the forecast analysis years. That's the total emission indicated below. So for this pollutant, we conform. Next slide, please. For the particulate matter PM2.5, annual PM2.5 also in tons per year for all NYMTC counties except Putnam plus Orange County. The ZIP budgets are indicated above the total emission analysis. So for this pollutant, we pass as well. We conform. Next slide, please. Conformity statement. The proposed amendment to the 2023 to 2027 TIP and for fiscal year 2022 to 2050 Regional Transportation Plan as amended conform with the application in the SIP for ozone and for PM2.5. The Transportation Conformity Determination demonstrates the consistency of the TIP and plan with the intent of the Clean Air Act Amendment of 1990 and the state and federal transportation conformity regulation. So for all the 4 pollutants analyzed and the forecast years, we pass on all the 4 pollutants. We conform. Next slide, please. Conclusion and comment period. The draft Transportation Conformity Determination has been developed in accordance with relevant federal regulation. A 30-day public period for the draft conformity determination will conclude on Tuesday, September 5th, 2023 at 4 p.m. These 30 days started on August 7 and will hopefully be concluded on Tuesday, September 5th, 2023 at 4 p.m. The draft document is available for viewing and for download at the website indicated below. Additional comments can be submitted at any time during the comment period by mail or email to our NYMTC website. Thank you, and Mark, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Fola. And with that, this concludes the public webinar for the draft transportation conformity for 2023. Thank you for attending. Fidel, you can stop recording.